Like, I believe that I am beautiful. I believe that this is how God has made me. I believe that God does not make any mistakes with me. And yes, this person says that I am not beautiful. But what is beautiful to that person anyway?
Yeah.
It might be beautiful to you, but it might not be beautiful to the next person.
Yeah.
You can say, I am beautiful. I can meet with somebody else that will say to me, Sam, actually, you've got a big nose. You're actually ugly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I've had people say these things to me.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I've had people walk in because with modeling, you do castings. I've had people say to me, I don't know why these people shortlisted you. You got a big nose.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Sam.
And I'm Amanda.
Welcome to Filter Through Faith.
Hi everyone, welcome to episode 5. Yes, episode 5. We are talking about beauty standards and what defines your beauty, what is beauty in your mind, what the beauty standard is out there, what pressures we're receiving online with social media and all of those things on what beautiful looks like and just kind of around that topic. So
And
thank
your
you for
heart
joining
posture.
us. So thank you for joining us. I'm going to start off with a couple of questions for you, Sam.
Okay.
What is, how has what beautiful is to you morphed as you've grown older?
That's a good question because it has definitely changed a lot. So when I was in school, that's kind of all you focus on. For me, it was all I used to focus on. I just wanted to be beautiful and I never felt beautiful. So I used to focus on that a lot. There's obviously beautiful girls at school. And you always try to like be that kind of girl, like be the beautiful girl that has all the boys like liking them or and it's stupid, but not stupid because that's all you would focus on.
Yes.
Like it was everything to you. Like you would take time in the morning to make sure that you are polished properly. And
Like in your teen years?
yes, that was in school. After school, I kind of had it, but then I was more career focused. So then I started building habits to build my mind, to grow my mind. Then I was focused on my mind more than my beauty. And I would always get at work, I would get oh, you're more than just beautiful, you know? You've got some brains. Like, I hated that. That's not a compliment. I hate it's the worst thing you could ever say to a lady, I think.
But maybe you think so, because which is part of what I was going to lead into is, do you feel like having a certain look has opened certain doors for you? Have you ever been cognizant or aware of that?
No. I didn't know it was a thing until I got one job and they're like, oh yeah, we hired you because you look good on the floor.
Oh,
That was terrible, and it was a terrible job actually.
okay.
But like, that's not a nice thing.
Really, somebody said that to you?
Somebody said that to me.
Gosh.
Like an HR lady said that to me.
Okay.
She's like, oh, we hired you because you look nice on the floor.
Yeah.
And what was worse, I was working with a bunch of men.
Was that, do you think, the first? Okay, so okay.
Because
finish your
that was
answer. How
early
did
days
it-
with
yeah.
school, with after school, the work. And now as a mom, I think also, before I move on, me being so against being beautiful at
Yeah.
work was because I think that everybody always just thought I was just a pretty face.
Okay.
So I was just trying to cover up that with
Yeah.
being smart, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And it was silly because
Yeah.
God gives you beauty. It's not something you can take
Yeah.
for yourself or
Yes.
something you can change.
Or what this world defines as beauty. What
Beauty,
they say
yes,
is beautiful.
yes. And they think that's all you can serve on the table when it's not true.
Yeah. Like if you think about it, there was a time when, and that's why I say what this world defines as beautiful, and you're just lucky if you're in the era when the features you have is beautiful. Because there was a time when plump lips was not beautiful, or a big backside like a booty was not beautiful.
Yes.
And now we're in a
Like with
season
Kate
when
Moss, yeah.
plump lips and a booty is beautiful, and so you're lucky to be in that season when it's not something that people are like, oh, a lips are so
Cringe.
big,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But now it's like, if you have voluptuous lips, it's like
You could-
everybody's lips, like I feel like there's nobody without lip filler anymore. Like
No,
lip
that's
filler
crazy,
is
eh?
everywhere. So it's
Yes.
like,
That's actually crazy. Yeah.
So you blessed actually if you in the time that they're saying that, well, not that you blessed, but you
Yes,
lucky,
I
I
get
guess,
what you're saying.
that
Because in school, I was not beautiful. Like, it was so weird. Like, I feel like my features haven't changed, but in school, I was not the beautiful one.
Okay.
But then after school, I was the beautiful one. And it was like weird. It's like
Yes.
weird.
Which is the tricky thing with keeping up with that standard, with making it your. But when was the time that you realized, like, the way I look matters?
In high
Or was
school.
there a time that it like became
In high
Okay.
school.
Okay.
In high school, it was a big drive for me.
Okay.
Like, everything was, oh, the way I look, the way I look, the way I look.
Okay.
And then now as a mom, I'm like, actually, no.
Yeah.
Like, I've got other things that is
Okay.
top priority. Like, if I look good, I look good. If I don't look good, like,
How much
there
of
are
that
other
is
things.
because you like
Raising
what? Where does
girls.
that come from?
Because
Is it
I'm
because
raising girls.
Okay.
And I think my relationship with the Lord has
Okay.
completely changed the way I see myself.
Okay.
All the things that He says I am versus what I think I am versus what other people think I am.
Yeah.
It's that has completely changed
Okay.
anything. So it's like your opinion of me doesn't
Yeah.
really matter
Yeah.
because it's not the end all be all. It's not actually who I am.
Yeah.
It's just your opinion.
That being said, there are obviously still some stuff about you that, like, it's normal to be like, oh, I wish my tummy was flatter,
Yes, of course.
like I
When
had
it
this
comes
thing or
to
that thing,
to
or, like,
body,
or less
yes.
wrinkle, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
it's still normal to feel
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
But you're not consumed
I'm
by
not
it.
consumed by it.
Okay.
Like I would say something in passing and be like, oh, this is. But I'm also mindful of how I speak to myself because I used to be so negative.
Okay.
Like when I just gave birth to
Yeah.
my first daughter 4 years ago, like I was so negative with my
Yeah.
body because I thought I was gonna bounce back,
Yes.
which was not the case, which is still not the case.
Yeah.
And it was rough. It was so dark. It was
Yeah.
so dark.
Really?
Because I
You felt like
I didn't recognize myself.
Okay.
Um,
And do you feel like at that time you were still more like too focused on your outward appearance?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And because I come from a family where everybody has bounced back.
Oh, okay.
And that was not the case for
Okay.
me. And I worked so hard to keep my body trimmed and fit before
Yeah.
kids because it was unnatural for me.
Okay.
Like I always was the one working on my body.
Okay.
Because in high school I was not the pretty one.
Okay.
And I had a big booty and all those things and that was not in at the time.
Okay.
So I had to work.
Yeah, I also
extra.
had I also had a insecurity about like my booty and whatever until it became like, thank goodness for J-Lo. That girl, she did a lot for us.
She did.
she made it fashionable.
She did.
And
Beautiful.
then
And because she has this beautiful face.
and then I think because of that, I was like not ashamed about it anymore. But it's so sad actually, like now when I look back and I reflect, it's so sad that somebody like that had to change culture in order for. So what if it went the other way?
Value. Mm-hmm.
What if it went the other way? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's sad that, but that's what's happening to every 16, 15, 14, 13-year-old girl, right?
Younger.
Or younger. Whatever's out there on social media now, and it's like, oh, this is beautiful. You feel such pressure to be like, okay,
girl
I
aesthetic.
have to, yes, or I have to, if I don't have, because some people just have smaller lips.
Yeah.
And some, like, honestly, sometimes it suits your face. Like, it's actually weird to see some people with this lip fillers.
Yes.
And it doesn't suit your face to have a full lip.
Yes.
It just
looks
it's
like
not
an elephant
flowing.
in the room. Yeah.
It's not flowing. Like, it's quite obvious that that's not your natural lip. And the lip filler is not even all that much. But it's quite obvious that it's not your natural lip because something's just off.
Yes. And then for you, how did that work for you?
So I think the first time I would say I was also probably like in my early teens when I became aware of like how I look. Actually, it was like my, I don't even know if I should say this, but whatever, I don't think they watch. It was my granny's husband that's now late. So he had like a tuck shop and my sister and older cousins worked there and they would always like, because I mean, I guess like if you're at the tuck shop, then there's now other guys are coming and whatever. So they would always like look good. And my sister always like she was at that age where, and I was still at the age where I didn't care. I had sunflower in my hair all the time and whatever. And then I was around that age where I'm like impressionable, and you were saying something. So my late sister's name was Celeste, and you were saying like, "Oh, Celeste always looks good," and you couldn't be bothered, something like that. He just said it like in passing, but I think because of the age I was at,
Yes,
it clicked.
that absolutely happened to me. And I think that's the thing when you have an older sister.
Yeah.
Because also the boys at my age were also saying, like, you look so different from your sister. Oh, your sister's so beautiful.
Yes.
And then something in your clicks like, wait, there's something wrong with me.
Yes.
Like, am I not beautiful?
It's like we were having this conversation with another friend of ours, and she was saying like, I never was aware of the faults on my face or my body until people made me aware of it, and I
Yeah,
was like,
what?
now it's all of a sudden all in my head about that thing.
That's
So
absolutely
yeah,
true.
that was like the time that I was like, and then I started to pay attention to how I was looking and dressing, and I started to take care of myself and try to make sure I'm not walking around with the sunflower and whatever, which, to be fair, I don't think is a bad thing. Like, I do encourage my
But how
daughter to
old
try
were
to.
you?
I was like 13 or whatever. I was
Okay.
about the age where you want to start,
Looking
teaching your
like
daughter to like
presentation is something.
take care of
It's not
herself.
everything, but
Yes,
it's
it's not
something.
exactly. So I think it's a fine balance between being like obsessive about it and not caring at all, I think.
Yes.
So yeah, I think at that age then I started to, but I guess I say all that to say, like, that's the time that I realized people are looking at how you look
And judging you
and
summing
judging you
up.
and summing you up, and I never really noticed it. And then I won't say I took it like fully, but when I started to work, also in my first job, I would like just come to work anyway. And then as I wanted to grow in my career, I realized it actually matters how you present
Makes a
yourself.
big difference.
So then I would really like put in a lot of effort, like make sure I'm dressing up, like looking
Wearing your
good,
heels,
whatever.
wearing a
Because
blazer.
I do feel like that does give you access to certain
does.
rooms.
Yeah, gives you a seat
And
at the table.
we can like that or dislike that, but it is a
what
fact
it
of
is.
reality.
That
Like,
is absolutely true.
there's so many just good looking people that don't deserve their positions. Like,
I was not one of them.
but
No,
that's
but
the
yeah.
truth, is like they have charisma. They have the ability to just like, and you can hate that or love it. If the odds are in your favor, then obviously
yes.
you love it. But if it's not in your favor, then you can hate that. But it is a reality. That being said, I think where it's morphed for me, where I've seen people like who don't fit typical beauty norms and standards and still hold like a level of confidence, and that's been more in the church. And as I've grown in my faith with the Lord, I've cared less about how I look or how I conform to whatever the beauty standard of the day is, and more with when I sit with people, how do they feel in my presence? Like when I'm engaging with friends, how do they feel when we've left? Or, when I'm with any type, and I'm in a boardroom or a meeting room or whatever, is that all people can focus on, or is there more substance to it? Because I think I've also seen a lot of people who, and I always have this conversation with my daughter, I'm like, if you don't take any time to develop your character as much as you are developing,
Your outward beauty.
understanding what works for you, what hair color you like, what makeup look you like, what your clothing style is, if you don't take as much effort on inside, you'll just be a vapid human being. Like, actually, people will be like, it will only last so far, which is actually the scripture I was gonna share. We all know it. It's from Proverbs 31:30. Charm is deceitful and beauty is passing, but a woman who fears the Lord. And I think I just focus on that beauty is passing, like especially for my daughters. It's like, you won't be beautiful forever. That is, if you are blessed that you're living in a time where whatever your features are is defined as beautiful, that is not going to last forever.
It does change.
Yes.
It always changes. Yeah, and your outward beauty should be the least beautiful thing about you. your heart should actually stand out more. I totally agree with you, and it's so weird that even at work it's a thing, right?
Yeah.
Because you think that it won't be a thing at work because you actually do need your brains, but when somebody is dressed well and when somebody has makeup on, or like they just look put together, people listen to that person. Hey, that person can be talking a whole lot of nonsense, but they'll listen to that person and take it as fact.
Yeah, but it's like a lot of like gift of the gab. It's like that charisma thing.
Yeah.
I think there'll be some people that will listen, but there is a, I think,
You will get caught up.
yeah, I think eventually you'll hang yourself on your own string. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like I don't think it lasts forever. People will notice that.
Yes. But sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna ask you, with your girls, raising girls, and understanding and seeing like what's out there now, what pressure is out there to show skin on social media, to like be sexy, to be sexualized at a young age, and those types of things. What are your thoughts around it? Your girls are still young, but what are your thoughts around it?
Oh, they're very young and I don't want to get there. But I think I can't hide them
Yeah.
for the rest of their lives. I can't pull them out of their generation.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to coach them through it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to let them see
Yeah.
it for what it is, and not tell them you can't be sexual, because
Yeah.
I also think that being a woman, having like a sexual side to you is natural.
Yes.
Like it's not something you obviously there's classes for it now.
Yes.
Apparently there's classes for it.
Really?
Yeah, there's classes for you
Like to learn how to be
be
more
more sexual with yourselves and sensual.
sensual. Okay. Okay.
So I'm not gonna. I don't want it to be stripped away from them completely, because I think it's useful in a marriage.
Yes.
I think it has its place.
Yes.
I will obviously teach them.
Yeah.
Teach them just like you teach Haley. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, I don't
No,
know if
it's
I could
okay.
say her
Yeah,
name.
yeah, it's fine.
But just like you teach Haley about, there's more to you
Yes.
than just your face.
Yes.
Like beauty is fleeting.
Yes.
Like your heart needs to be heart of gold. Like your heart
Yes.
needs to be really beautiful. Like a woman is a body of influence.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you come from. As a woman, you're a body of influence. You'll influence your household. You'll influence the people around you. Like what do you want out of life also?
Yeah.
So I will teach them, the basics that God in his word says to us, let me just get that. That they are made in God's image. That God created women as co-image bearers of himself.
Yeah.
That they must be modest.
Yeah.
And I use I want to say, I don't want to...
Let's talk about
lightly.
modesty. Let's talk
I'm
about
going to talk
modesty.
about it
I wanna
lightly.
know.
I want to talk about it lightly because...
it's like, okay, were you modest as a teen?
As a teen, I was somewhat modest. I didn't like a crop top. I didn't like...
What?
I did not like a
I
crop
was
top.
not at all modest.
I hated my tummy out.
So with modesty, I think I was terrible as a young person. I didn't. So the history is my mom's mom was very strict, too strict that my mom felt she's not beautiful. Then my mom was too giving us so much freedom.
The opposite.
That I think it was with dressing though. So I will say something like, people sum you up, and then that wasn't where my heart was. Like, I actually did, like, remember I said to you, I actually didn't have boyfriends. I was just trying to learn how to what
just
suits
finding
me,
yourself
whatever.
as a kid.
And the thing that I didn't think I had such a pretty face, but I knew my body was, it didn't have a cellulite. Good times. Good times. I knew my body was like good, so I overcompensated. And later on, I realized as much as people are measuring you, they're also measuring you with that, So they would think that I was a busy girl, and I really wasn't. Like I said, my husband was my first real boyfriend. So they thought I was a busy girl, but I really wasn't, because of the way I dressed. So with my daughter now, I also don't want to be too
No,
strict
you
where
can't
it's
be.
like
No.
you feel like you're so
Because
boring, like
they're
you
gonna leave the house with one outfit and then
exactly.
change.
You
Like, you
see what
don't
I'm
want
saying?
that either.
So like when we out sometimes, then I'll say to her like, okay, what do you think about that girl's outfit? Then not in like a judgy way, but like so like now everything is baggy, whatever. So then there was this one girl we saw at the mall, and she was like all in, but she looked like a boy, like. And I said to her, Ellie, like, I don't think I see it's the style. I mean, I get it. But I said to her, I think there should be some feminine touches.
Baggy looks too boyish.
Yes.
So then maybe a crop top would look so cute with
Yeah,
that, right?
that's exactly. So I'm like, I'm for balance. So my rule with Hailey is, and the way I like guide her is, don't show everything. Like, leave some things to the imagination. If you're gonna do like a shorter skirt, then wear a full top.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're gonna do like a crop top, then wear jeans.
Which just looks
Don't
beautiful,
wear,
man.
just
It looks beautiful.
more like, yeah. But I'm not, I know some parents, especially Christian parents, are like, no, you don't show anything. And I feel like you must do what's right for you.
Yes.
But for me, I also don't want her to be too, I don't want her to feel like I can't live or
Too stiff.
experience or,
And then they
yeah.
also don't take Christianity and make it their own.
Yes.
Then it's not their
Yeah.
God. They
So
just
for
think
me,
it's
like it
rules.
became like a natural conviction. As I matured in my faith, then it just
Yes,
became
me
a
too.
natural
Me
conviction
too.
where I was like, actually, I don't want to wear this here, or I don't feel like comfortable in this, or whatever.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. So I was also like very even just before I had Malaya, I would dress sexual,
Yeah.
not sexual, sexy.
Yes.
Please cut that out. I would dress somewhat sexy, but and then when I had Malaya, it just didn't feel, and I don't know if it was because my body was just not right.
Changed or-
So I don't know if I go back to
Okay.
pre-baby whatever. Will I then? No, but I don't think
Because
so.
this was going to be the next part I was going to
Yeah.
ask you, is sometimes it's always easy to have all these lines and limits, and like, I won't do Botox, I won't do lip filler, but actually you can't afford lip filler right
Because if
now.
you could afford lip filler.
So it's like, yeah, it's fine to have that conviction, because like, so I was chatting to another friend about this, and she was like, yeah, I actually don't see anything, even as a Christian, like, if I had money, and I'm like, yeah, I would like put some Botox
Oh,
in
would you?
No, she was saying to
But
me.
would you?
But for me, I mean, I don't know. I don't personally right now where I stand. That might change. But right now where I stand, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with doing some Botox, doing a little bit of lip filler. If my body was everything I wanted it to be right now, and I didn't have a belly ring and mess up my belly when I was pregnant, I would do a bikini on the beach for sure. I would do a crop top and a jeans. Not a crop top. I'd still try to, but I've seen like moms or grown up women do like
And
a crop top and a blazer
yes,
and a
it
suit,
looks cute.
and it looks cute. I would do that, but my stomach is just not at the place for
Yeah.
that right now. But I would do it. So that's why I'm saying, like, but to the point where I feel conviction. And I also feel very much like, number one, with like surgical procedures, it's a bit of a slippery slope. Because I feel like it feels like with makeup. You know, when I'm used to my face with makeup, then I can't see myself without. So I used to do lashes.
So you look sick.
Yes. I did lashes for a couple of months. And then when I stopped doing the lashes, I think it was COVID. It was pre-COVID. I did lashes. Then March 2020 happened, and I couldn't go to the lash lady. And then my own lashes was like coming out
Yes, because
with the lashes, and my face looked so pale. I just
like weird.
looked weird without it, and I felt like this is a slippery slope.
Yeah, let's talk about makeup actually, because yes, Botox is great, and you won't do it or you will do it, but that's because you don't have the money for it. Like, right? That's
Right now, I can do much better stuff than Botox with that money.
Most of our people that's joining and that's listening in cannot afford Botox, because Botox is very pricey.
Yeah.
Let's talk makeup.
Not actually. It's so accessible now, Botox.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can like go to your pediatrician or any doctor. Like most doctors are doing Like, I'm not trying to prescribe that to anybody, but
Really,
I'm
I
just
didn't
saying
know.
it's actually quite accessible now.
But then
Botox.
also the maintenance of it, because you have to keep going back. You
That's
can't
the
just.
thing. It's
So
like you
that's
have to
where
keep
the money
going
is
back.
actually.
Yes. But a lot of doctors are doing it because the money is in it. So they put it in your medical aid as some.
Oh, that's so crazy.
Yeah, it's a bit dodgy.
But let's talk about makeup and extensions, because
Yeah.
for me, extensions was a big thing. Extensions was something that I held very close to my heart. It was something that
Hair extension.
yes, hair extensions. It was something that I my identity was in my hair. Like, I just loved everything, and I still do. I still love hair.
Yeah.
But it didn't need to be so bad. Like, I would obsess over hair.
Really?
So yes, I wouldn't go out without my extensions. I'd make a pony with extensions. Like, I was
Okay.
so obsessed. It was very hard for me to put my extensions down and say, I'll see you later. It was like a breakup. It was
Yes.
very, very difficult for me.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about, makeup? Because I know obviously it's your heart.
Yeah.
I think the biggest problem is not the fact that we are wearing makeup or
Yeah.
that we are wearing extensions, because there's nothing wrong with makeup and art.
Yes.
It's where we then identify ourselves in the makeup and in the hair, and it's everything.
Yeah.
And we forget that God says you are made beautifully and wonderfully.
So I think where you need to start doing a little bit of self-examination and a little bit of introspection is like, if you can't be seen without this thing. So like, we were on a church weekend away and I didn't have a stitch of makeup on,
Yeah.
and my hair was like in its natural curly bushy state, like, and it's like, yeah,
That's me.
that's me.
I'm okay with
But
that.
you will see me other times and I'm like, you like, who is, that's fine, that's okay. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's how you know there's a problem. You'll know for yourself if it's like, I feel so insecure, I'm shy, I'm nervous, I'm like, because
Yes,
now I
yes.
don't have mascara
Everybody's
on, or I
seeing
don't
it.
like,
Yeah.
that's where you need to examine, okay, am I putting too much worth on this thing? And that's whether it's Botox, whether it's the way you dress, whether it's the way your hair needs to look, and whatever. And
It's the mirror. It's when you use a mirror to basically affirm you.
yes.
It's like Snow White. You know, when Snow White comes to the mirror, is it Snow White or Cinderella?
Yeah.
Where the stepmother comes to the mirror, and is like, who's the most beautiful of them all? Is Snow White.
Yeah, I
And
think
it's
so.
and it says, oh, Snow White.
Yes, yes.
And then the lady gets so angry.
Yes.
I think when
It's
we are
when-
going to the mirror and
Yes.
asking the mirror, am I the most beautiful? And asking the mirror, is this who I am? That's where
Yes.
it becomes a problem, when we're not going to scripture and saying, but God is saying this.
Yes.
God is saying, I am this.
Yeah.
Why am I believing a mirror? Why
Yes.
am I believing other people that is telling me who I am? Yet they don't know the inner parts of me.
Yes.
I think that's
So,
weird.
All these
becomes-
things, Sammy, and my mom said that to me when I was telling her what this next episode was about. She was like, you guys must just think about it from the perspective of somebody who doesn't feel pretty. So, like, I think you're very beautiful, and I think you fit
you very
into
beautiful.
thank you. And I think you fit into this, like, right now, of what people deem as beautiful, right? But if you've never felt that way and you feel like, actually, I don't fit into the beauty standard of this world, so it's all good and well for you, Samantha, to tell me that I must think about, like, whatever, what the Lord says or whatever. But people ignore me when I walk in a room. People don't see, people say, oh, your pretty sister, or the pretty cousin, or this is the, people are just mean sometimes. Or so to that person, where do they, like, how do they find their worth?
Not a mirror, that's for sure. And not in somebody else's opinion. Because if you're searching scripture, and I am saying reference back to scripture as who you are, as the thing that tells you who you are. So your affirmation comes from the Lord. If you stand on a rock and say, this is what I believe. Like, I believe that I am beautiful. I believe that this is how God has made me. I believe that God does not make any mistakes with me. And yes, this person says that I am not beautiful. But what is beautiful to that person anyway?
Yeah.
It might be beautiful to you, but it might not be beautiful to the next person.
Yeah.
You can say, I am beautiful. I can meet with somebody else that will say to me, Sam, actually, you've got a big nose. You're actually ugly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I've had people say these things to me.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I've
Yeah.
had people walk in, because with modeling, you do castings. I've had people say to me, I don't know why these people shortlisted you. You got a big nose.
Yeah. Yeah.
People say those things to you.
Yeah.
So you really can't take somebody else's opinion as your fact and hold it close to your heart and say, this is who I am.
Yeah.
And it's even like with shyness. It's not even just makeup and hair extensions and all that. It's with shyness. Don't make it your identity. Don't make it your own. Because once you make it your own, that's who you become.
Yeah.
So if somebody doesn't notice you in the room and you want to be noticed, then walk in with confidence. Walk in up straight.
Yeah.
Greet everybody. Shake their hands if you must shake their hands. I used to love doing that
Yes.
when I was working. When I meet somebody or when I walk into a meeting, I would shake their hands firmly.
Yes.
Because I know what I bring to the table.
Don't
and it's
cower
not...
and
Yes. You are not just your outward
But that's
looks.
because you've found other things that make Sam.
Yes.
So that's what I was gonna say. Like, if you feel like you don't fit into traditional beauty standards or what people are now deeming as beautiful, like you have all the opposite things. You have a small booty, you have tiny lips, you have, I don't know, whatever the things are, right? That you feel like right now it's not the message of the day of what is beautiful. I feel like God has given us all gifts to equip us with this life. Like, you might be funny, you might be intellectually smart, you might be an athlete, you might be like whatever,
the most welcoming person.
the most or whatever, right? But everybody, and what does the Bible say? Your gift will make room for you. When you realize that the Lord has not put you here on this earth with nothing, like He has gifted everybody. Some people have communication skills, some people have the ability to teach, some people have, like, work on that thing. And I've actually seen that people who have taken the time, I actually feel like if you are blessed with physical beauty attributes, then you actually are at a disadvantage.
Yes.
Because, and it might not seem like it, like people are talking about pretty privilege and all of that, so it feels like you're at an advantage, and you are kind of at an advantage with those things. But at a later stage in your life, you definitely at a disadvantage, because while others were developing their characters, their skills, their gifts, their ability to communicate, all of those other things that God has given them to make them who they are, you have just been relying on your pretty privilege.
Exactly. And then you end up in a place where you don't know who you are, you don't know where you want to go, you don't know anything about yourself, or let's say you've gained weight, or whatever the case is, you're just not that pretty anymore.
Yes.
Right? Then you don't know what to do, where to go.
Or God forbid you have some horrible car accident or something like that. Like, anything could happen.
Yes. So I would say, be you, not be who people think that you are. Just find whatever works for you, whatever talent God has given you. He has given you a talent, just like you said, Mandy. Like, I can't agree with that more, and I can't emphasize that more. Like, find your talent and then work at it. If you're beautiful, great, extra. If you're not, it's fine. Who cares?
Yes, exactly. If you're not that, then
In the real world, it doesn't matter.
Exactly. Work on what the Lord has given you. Refine that. Make it great. Make it excellent. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this conversation with us. I liked it. I feel like that was a good
I also loved it.
closing. Hopefully you've gotten something, whether you fit into traditional beauty standards or you don't.
Whether you want to or don't.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give us a like, share, and a comment. Find us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Have a good day, guys.
Thank you for joining us. Bye.